Margaret, last firstly, can I start off by thanking Deputy Kelleher for bringing forward the Private Members Bill, and as my colleague Deputy O'Leary already said, Sinn Féin will be supporting this bill. The bill seeks to amend the 2004 Act so that when a court has dismissed the case on the basis of it being a fraudulent action, it is then automatically referred to the Director of Public Prosecutions. The situation that exists at present, where somebody goes into court and tells what is blatant lies, what can be clearly proven that they're actually lied in a case where they try to get compensation, and where the defendant in that case has to refer them themselves or take them themselves to further justice, is simply not acceptable, and it should be automatically referred to the Director of Public Prosecution. I'm on the Business Committee, as Deputy Lawless referenced earlier, and as part of our recent report we done on the cost of doing business in this country, we had a lot of stakeholders in, a lot of businesses were in, and we're talking about the issues that were affecting them, rates and pay and stuff like that. But the biggest issue, and what dominated the whole of our discussion, was insurance. The cost of insurance, the cost of premiums, the cost that they were going up the whole time, and the cost of people having to defend cases that were clearly not correct. The Alliance for Insurance Reform, they've done sterling work on this issue. The Alliance is a non-political group that brings together 20 civic and business organisations from across Ireland, including charities representing 35,000 members, over 633,000 employees, and 41,000 volunteers in community groups across the whole state. And they have been at the fore of campaigning for action to be taken on the escalating insurance costs for businesses and charities, have cited amending Civil and Liberty and Court Act 2004 as one of their 10 asks in addressing the problem of escalating insurance costs. As part of the presentation, we saw as part of not the business presentation, but as part of outreach to different groups, and that we saw different types of videos where people were basically staging, claiming frauds. They were falling in shops, they were videoing themselves doing that, they were doing restaurants, they were throwing water on the ground, they were suddenly slipping. The person who put the water on the ground for the person to slip on was their witness. These cases were brought to court, and there was no prosecution of those people when the cases were subsequently discovered to be fraudulent. And in some cases, insurance companies didn't pursue the fraudulent person, but the insurance premium of the company increased massively. The Insurance Alliance themselves have expressed their huge and intense disappointment at the slow pace of reform, and they said the policyholders have been thrown to the wolves by the government, and I agree with them on that. Over many years, the cost of public liability insurance has been a consistent problem. Not alone does it affect small and medium-sized businesses, pubs and other local social activities across Ireland, and in rural Ireland in particular, but it also affects things such as children's playgrounds, GA social club centres, taxi drivers. It has the effect of closing down many small enterprises, with consequences that people are becoming unemployed. Businesses are being bled dry with outrageous increases in insurance premiums, which are forcing some low-margin enterprises out of business. I'm sure that all deputies have heard the same stories from businesses and community groups that I have heard again and again about the huge premium increases which are hampering the growth and forcing some businesses to close down. So, in my opinion, I'm running out of time here, we need a serious and far-reaching radical shake-up of the insurance system in Ireland. The recent announced Garda fraud unit is welcome, but it is a huge concern that this will be funded directly by insurers, and that should not be the case. Today, Sinn Féin launched our pre-budget proposals, and they contain provisions to fund the Garda fraud unit from public funds. There is a clear need for such a unit. However, it is the role of Garda Síochána to form such a unit, and it should be funded from state funds. Fine Gael have been in government for 7 years, and it seems all we have got so far is the cost of insurance working group. This group, however, has not brought around any reduction whatsoever in insurance costs. The government's approach has been described as a death by 1,000 consultations, and that is an accurate portrayal. Every time we raise this issue, we refer to some new report or consultation or discussion or working group. We don't need any more of this. We need real, tangible and far-reaching action. In conclusion, I want to again thank Deputy Kelleher for bringing forward this motion, and I hope Fianna Fáil will use some of their influence in the coalition deal to ensure insurance costs are tackled to help businesses across Ireland.